Here we go. Start smashing those likes, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to rock and roll. Let's get it. Come on. Bitcoin blasting off. MYX blasting off. Everything's blasting off, guys. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day, and we are back for our live stream today, Wednesday, September 10th, and Bitcoin is moving, baby, moving in the right direction. As you guys all know by now, PPI data came out today. If you don't know what the PPI data is, it tracks the inflation. Long story short here, we were expecting 3.3%, and guess what, my friends? We only got, do I have something on my beard? We only got 2.6, meaning inflation for the month of August was lower than expected, meaning the chances, if you didn't believe it could get higher, the chances have just gotten higher that an interest rate cut is coming. Why do I say this? Well, we know that Jerome Powell spoke at the Jackson Hole, and he talked about being concerned about the labor market versus the inflation, right? Inflation's coming down, supposedly, right? And job market has tanked. They just revised the data yesterday. They came out with the revised data from the last 12 months ending at March 2025, and the job market has lost. They removed 900,000+ jobs from the supposedly growing labor market, aka showing that the data that keeps coming out is fugazi, and it is time to once again start cutting interest rates. So the momentum is here. Bitcoin is moving, it's grooving, and it's getting ready for the biggest interest rate cut season in a very long time. Meaning easy money is flowing into the markets, and when that money printer goes burr, Bitcoin is going for the next big blow off top, guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys in here smashing those likes. Hitting that subscribe, and let me tell you, I'm very, very excited. Very excited right now with what is happening with Bitcoin. So give me a quick second here, guys. Let me pull something up over here. Give me a second here. Where's my boy? Where's my boy at? Here we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Just need to message somebody real quick. No problem. Here we go. All right, we're back. I appreciate everybody hanging in here. I appreciate everybody continuing to smash those likes. We are rocking and rolling. Let's see here. Let's go answer some questions in the chat, guys. Let's go answer some questions in the chat. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Damian Smith, good morning. Good to see you, brother. Let's see over here. So where is SOL headed? Do you think SOL will break its all-time high as well? Yes, I do believe Solana is getting ready to break some all-time highs. So I'm going to give you a quick little recap of Bitcoin and Ethereum this morning, something that we were covering in the Crypto Citadel last night, right? So Bitcoin here on the 1 hour, very easy. Last night, I was talking about dropping back down here towards this previous day low. We came down to as low as the monthly, a little bit lower here to the Asia low. Since then, we began to blast off, hitting our monthly average, our daily average, and our daily NPOC to the upside. We got above the previous week high, and since then, we blasted off again to about 114. We, in the Crypto Citadel, we're looking for these potential moves, as you guys can see over here. Give me a second. This is just chaos. Everything's all over the place. Here we go. So as you guys can see right over here, last night we were looking for this exact same move on Bitcoin. We got that and more. Once Bitcoin came up to the previous week high earlier this morning, we did have a bit of a fake out of a potential drop to the downside. We quickly were able to pivot from that. We took a long here. Bitcoin flipped the previous week high. We're going long. And guess what, guys? We took a short. It hit the sweep, right? We hit the signal here for the sweep of the previous week high. We hit TP1. Then we got back above the previous week high and said, send it, TP123. And guess what, guys? We came all the way up to halfway to TP2 during our live trading session here, and we closed out the Bitcoin long at this 0.5 fib on our halfway to the TP2. And guess what? It's been the best move that we've done. We're able to print out 255 smackaroons, another 444 smackaroons here for the day. And it has been nothing but the best move to do today so far, as it has been pulling back since then. So that's what's been happening with Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum has been following same suit. Nice move to the upside, face resistance up here before hitting the weekly average. We've pulled back down. We're currently losing the previous day high. If it can hold, this would be another area of potential interest to enter long for the upside, but I personally wouldn't be doing that right now. Now, let's go to the question. The question was Solana. Solana has pumped as high as 225, hitting, guess what? Our gold pocket, guys. We have been waiting for this gold pocket for a long, long time. Let me turn off some of these indicators here so that it's a little bit easier to read. But so far, I told you guys we had a target, a gold pocket of 225, and we hit that perfectly just today, right? Went all the way up to 225, hit our gold pocket, faced resistance, and now we're having a slight little pullback from the gold pocket, which is a target we've been waiting for forever. We have been tracking this uptrend for Solana forever. If you've been watching the live streams, if you've been in the Crypto Citadel, this has been pumping forever. J.Car says, is this your new account? No, this is, well, yes, this is my only account right now because my previous account got taken down. So yes, this is my only account right now. We greatly appreciate you hitting that subscribe. So, above 225, our target's at 235 to 247. Once we're above 247, we're running for that all-time high of 295, man. As you guys can see, we've been in a very nice, strong uptrend all of quarter 2 and quarter 3 so far for Solana. Right now, we're actually starting to break out above this uptrend and going even steeper into the uptrend. So if Bitcoin does have a blast off going to that 115 to potentially 120, especially with interest rate cuts being heavily on the cards here for next week, Wednesday. That's right, 7 days from now, we will be getting an interest rate cut decision. And if we get that interest rate cut decision, I do believe Bitcoin's going to start moving. Maybe we have a little bit of a drop at first, but I honestly do believe overall we're going to be closing out the month of September in the green here and pumping up higher, pushing Solana towards this 295 and higher. So those are the targets. I do believe Solana is going to break all-time highs. Let's jump back into the chat. Let's see what other questions we got here. Well, everyone, nope, that's Fugazi. What? Twice in one day? Diamond Crypto Citadel member in the house was in the exclusive live trading session this morning. Well, how's you doing, brother? How you doing? I was looking for my notification. Let's see here. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. We'll cover Shiba in just a second. Doge. There was some news about Doge getting a ETF approval happening here relatively soon. So let's go take a look at Dogecoin and its chart. Dogecoin here once again now flipping above this yearly VWAP. Very, very important here. Nice strong move from the value area low of the August range here, holding this level of support of 21 cents. We've rotated the range of August, have broken above it. We're currently above this monthly point of control, which has been major resistance all of August, right? All of August, we were getting rejected off this 24-cent area. We had a few wicks to the upside of 25, but could not hold it. Right now, we're back above it. We're back above this orange line here, which is the yearly VWAP. We are re-entering this uptrend from not from quarter 2, but from June, from the bottom of June, right? We are back. We're re-entering this uptrend, and if we re-enter this uptrend, our main targets to the upside for Dogecoin, right, for Dogecoin is 32 cents to 36 cents. We have a gold pocket here. We have a monthly MPLC, monthly average, weekly MPLC at 32 cents. Above 36 cents, we have legacy targets of a monthly MPLC of 52 cents, which we have not seen since 2021. Maybe we get it with the ETF if the ETF gets approved in the next couple of days or relatively soon before altcoin season is over. If not, targets are 36 cents for sure. Those are my big targets. That is where I will be taking some big profits off Dogecoin. So Dogecoin, those are the targets here. Appreciate everybody joining. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. If you're not in the Crypto Citadel already, what are you guys missing out? You guys are missing out here, guys. There's only 15 spots left. 15 spots left before the $3.30 a day is gone. So make sure you are in it to win it. If not, you're gonna miss out, guys. So secure your spots while they're still available. Let me go in here into the chat, see if I'm not missing anybody. Diamond says Crypto Citadel is gold. Appreciate that, brother. Let's go. WorldCoin. Somebody wants to look at WorldCoin. Let's go take a look at good old WorldCoin. Right over here. Boom. Perfect. Here we go. WorldCoin flying up straight into our monthly average of $2.05. We hit that yesterday at 219, found resistance, fell back down. Today, once again, hit 205, found resistance, and now pulling back once again. It's also the 382 at 195. We're currently sitting at 178. If WorldCoin can get above this 205, did not mean to do that, can find support here on this upper band of this very large downtrend, right? We got to zoom out here into the weekly. But if WorldCoin can find support here and get back out above this massive downtrend that we've been in since 2024, right? Since 2024, we've been in nothing but lower highs, major macro downtrend. Now, if we can break above 205, we will be breaking this downtrend. Our next target to the upside will be 292, which is a gold pocket, local gold pocket, mind you. But we will be above the yearly VWAP, which is bullish. Once we're above that 292 area, our next targets for WorldCoin are $4.38 to $5. And then we have a larger macro gold pocket up at $7.98. Am I saying we're going to go to $8 for WorldCoin? Absolutely not right now, right? But if we get a breakout here, 292, maybe $3 or $4 is potentially on the cards for this year in a big altcoin season. We'll have to just continue to follow it month by month, week by week. Z41N, what's going on, brother? Says, hey, bro, where do you think PYTH is headed in the next couple of hours or by tomorrow? Let's go take a look at PYTH. If you guys like these streams and you like getting all this alpha, all this charts, imagine what it's like to be inside the Crypto Citadel where you have direct access to me at all times to ask me for these macro charts, where you can keep the macro charts and you don't just have to try to remember this off the top of your head. So, and that's just for the people that are not for long-term holders. That's not even for the traders, right? The traders are getting all the exclusive trade signals every single day in there. Just today, we printed over 600 smackaroons in the Crypto Citadel, so fantastic day trading in the Crypto Citadel today alone. Now, PYTH here. PYTH has had a nice pullback to our 382, around 15 cents. We're right now trying to fight this quarterly and yearly VWAP, trying to break above it here on the daily. If we can stay above 17 cents, we will have a chance to run back towards our resistance here around 22 to 24 cents. Once we're above that area, our targets to the upside are 31 to 41 cents with an NPOC up at 51 before running for the yearly average of 57 cents. So we definitely have some big targets here for PYTH to the upside. Meanwhile, we can hold above this yearly VWAP of 17 cents. Things are looking up for PYTH, and I do expect PYTH to continue running higher, especially with that big news of oracles being used and PYTH being on that whole train with Chainlink and so much more. Chad Jeet says, too full of yourself and praying for new people on the market? Scummy. Whoa. Let's address this comment here real quick. Too full of myself? I keep it 100% transparent for everybody that's in the Citadel and not in the Citadel. I'm not out here doing any moon boy math for, hey, you're going to become a millionaire on this altcoin, yada, yada, yada. We're just trading based off facts and what's on the chart. The Citadel is not for everyone. People are going to join. They're going to think they're going to get rich overnight. They're not going to, and they're going to leave. That's why it's a month-to-month plan. You can leave at any point in time. Absolutely no problem. The people that are willing to learn, the people that are willing to put in the work and the dedication to try to change their life, that is a place that they can come to. Learn from the 1 hour trading course, learn from the live trading exclusive sessions, and learn from everything that we're doing in there along with the rest of the trading community. So, Chad, you can take that comment and put it you know where. Just FYI. Let's see here. Giovanni says, would you buy a little bit of memes like Bonk and Whiff in addition to Sol to maybe get a better return, assuming that some of those memes tend to pump with Sol? So yes, guys, Whiff, right? Pump, we see here, pump.fun. This thing is also running up 44% this week. Bit of a, higher risk to get into right now, but I understand what you're saying. You're saying Bonk. Bonk hasn't had any major returns this year so far, 34%, still down 11% on the month. Can it have a rally? Absolutely. Memes will have rallies, right? Especially the large cap memes. I'm really focusing on things like Pengu, though. Pengu is still down 9.1% this month. I think Pengu, Pudgy Penguins, is going to be doing very well. But I do understand Whiff and Bonk being plays off of the Solana ecosystem moving to the upside. Where's Whiff at? Whiff. Let me just type it in. Dog Whiff Hat. Yeah, Dog Whiff Hat down 46% on the year, right? Definitely down, down, down. Can you get some rallies out of this in the next altcoin season? Absolutely. But I wouldn't be betting the farmhouse. I wouldn't be putting thousands of dollars on there. I would be putting very small, maybe $200 to $300, right? With let's actually go take a look on WeX here, what the fund rate is on that, because that's something you need to be aware of when you're swing trading, right? You need to be aware of what the fund rate is and how often it is, so you know how much margin you kind of need to be able to survive in that trade. Come on, man, put it up. Okay, don't know why this is being pulled up now. Okay, let's okay, so the fund rate here is every 4 hours or so. I see here 3 hours and 30 minutes, so it's probably every 4 hours. Very small percentage is in the positive. So in the positive means that, meanwhile it's in the positive, the shorts are paying the longs are paying the short when it's positive. So that being said, very small percent, and it's every 4 hours. So it's a very large cap crypto that you can trade in the long term, in the long swing trades with WeX and just any other trading exchange. But this is one that we've personally partnered with in the Crypto Citadel. And yeah, Whiff could definitely have some big rallies to the upside. So something like this, let's go actually break down a small trade here, a swing trade for Whiff. So let's go take a look at the Whiff chart first to get our data, to get our plan in place. Okay, we've already hit all these targets. Let me clear up this here real quick. Okay. Let's clear this out. All right. Let's get some range data here. Actually, let's get a trend first. Nice trend right here. Let's make sure we're not missing any new data. Any quarterlies, any monthlies? Nope. Okay. Let's get a gold pocket from this high back in November to the lows in April. Big target to the upside. Now let's zoom in a little bit here, more into the local time. So Whiff right now, let me actually get the range data for August. July. Let's get August as well. Why not? We're already here. So right now we're in a pretty nice uptrend for WIF since the low of April, right? And right now we're on the lower band of this. We are above the yearly VWAP right now. We do have the quarterly above, but the quarterly is going to be resetting here at the end of September. So there's going to be a reset on the quarterly. Meanwhile, we stay above this yearly of 84 cents, right? Target to the upside here in the short term is this $1.08 area. Let's assume that is our first big target from 88 cents to $1.08, right? That's our big first target, and then our second big target is 144. Now let's jump on over to WIF here. Let's assume we're gonna put in, let's say, what are we? Where is my 274 bucks here on a potential long leverage? Bring this down to, let's say 3x, right? Bring this down 3x. Put in 350 bucks since we're doing a 3x right now, right? This is our price. Boom, boom, boom. Now let's enter the TPs for the long. Well, actually, the TPs for the short. Oh, sorry. It is for the long. What am I talking about? And let's hit our target of 1.08 to the upside. Come on, man. Get out of my way. That right there is already a 65% return on investment of profit expected, $231 on our first target. Our second target is $1.44. So if you go into a low leverage WIF trade, right now around 88 cents, and I put low leverage because our liquidation is a lot lower, meaning we have what our estimated liquidation for a long is never. That's our liquidation price, never. So our leverage is so low that to get liquidated, it's very, very difficult. But even if we start going into the negative, you can dollar cost average a little bit more, another $200-300 into the trade, which isn't a large amount of capital. And if we can hit our TP1 or TP2 with just the initial amount without even dollar cost averaging, you're making well over 100%, right? 187% on our second target of 144 with a 3x leverage trade. Very manageable for the long term, for the swing trade. And those are the kind of things that we're looking at in the Crypto Citadel, right? Those are the type of game plans that we talk about. When I talk about game planning, that's the kind of thing that I'm referring to, right? Looking at the chart, looking at potential targets, looking at where the support is, what could be a potential swing trade here for the short term, for the mid to long term, right? Some potential targets, what kind of return am I expected to get, and what kind of amount of margin or capital am I expected to be putting into this? Do I have more to be able to dollar cost average? How can I manage this? What am I looking for? These are all the things that you need to be able to be successful in the crypto market. Analyzing data and game planning along based off this data. If you're not game planning and you're not going based off data, you're just blindly reacting, you're going to be missing out a lot. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes here. Is AVAX a utility coin? Yes, AVAX is a utility coin. It's part of real world assets. It's part of crypto gaming. All of crypto gaming is actually live on AVAX. We got the Shrapnel and we got Off the Grid. Those are the two big games right now that are of crypto gaming that are running through the AVAX blockchain. We have real world assets, over $200-something billion of real estate have been yes. See, TradeFly, what's going on, bro? I tried messaging you on Discord. Yes, I am jumping on today. I will be getting off of here around 12:45-ish, 12:50 at most, and then I'll be just send me a link and I'll be there ready for 1 o'clock. I will be on TradeFly's show later today. Sorry about the miscommunication, bro. It's been chaotic over here. I missed your text message, and then I tried hitting you up on Discord. I know you were calling me, but I was already live, so sorry about that. Let's see here. How high will AVAX go in this bull run? Let's go take a look at AVAX. So AVAX right now, finally, look at this green candle, baby. That's what I'm talking about. AVAX finally breaking above this major quarterly average resistance. It was resistance back in 2020, we've been in 2025 this whole time, but back in May, it was resistance back in July, it was resistance back in August, and now we're finally breaking above it. Hopefully we can start closing some dailies here above the $26 price point. Our next big area of resistance is right where we're at, between 28 to 31. We do have a weekly untapped average in the middle at 29, but between 28 to $31, we've had a lot of resistance and support in the past in 2024, which I'm not going to go revisit right now. But once we can get above this $31 price point, our targets to the upside are between $36 to $41 in the short term. And then finally, our local highs for 2024 have been around $51 to $54, right? We did top out somewhere around 60, but our targets to back to the upside here in the 50s are around 51 to 54. If we can get above 51 to 54 and actually start making some big moves here and have a real breakout, AVAX has legacy targets from back in 2021 between $71 to as high as $147, which is its previous all-time high. Now, am I making a promise or a guarantee that AVAX is going to hit a new all-time high? No. So far, AVAX has not shown the strength that it takes to get to a new all-time high after major altcoin rallies in 2024. So I'm skeptical at this point that we're going to reach all-time highs. But a move back to $51, potentially $71 is definitely on the cards. Definitely on the cards. Nassim, what's going on? Can you please do XRP short term, like the next 7 days? Let's go take a look at XRP here. I got tons of questions are coming in, guys. I'm not ignoring your questions. I'm just trying to get through them as fast as I can. If I haven't answered your question, just be patient. I will get to it. So let's go take a look at XRP. XRP, it's in the game. All right, so XRP still within its downtrend, came up from the lows of this downtrend to the upside, hitting our quarterly VWAP, finding resistance here at the monthly NPOC and quarterly VWAP of $3, as I expected, as we've talked about multiple times in the Crypto Citadel and here publicly as well. And now we're just kind of hovering around $2.99, $3. If XRP can get above this quarterly VWAP, which I definitely think it can. Its next area of interest is going to be breaking out of the August range, which lines up with the upper band of this downtrend around $3.13. If we can break out of the downtrend, right, changing market structure, we need to get above 334. We get above 334 and we're running for our local high of 366. Above 366, I do target 416 as the next big move to the upside. So just keep an eye on that for now. Yeah, that's what we're looking at here right now. Let's do a quick little fib extension from these highs to this low, back to this high. Yeah, we've come down exactly to our gold pocket here, fib extension. So came down to our gold pocket fib extension perfectly. That's awesome. That's exactly what we needed to be able to bounce off of that. All right, let me get back to some of these questions now. Tell me about Cardano. What happens to crypto if the US dollar collapses? You buy them with dollars. Guys, you don't buy them with dollars. You sell your crypto for dollars, right? Or you sell your dollars for crypto. You're not buying, right? It's very relative. It depends on what side of the spectrum you're on, right? The US dollar has been collapsing since 1971. I believe the statistic is that the US dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power since 1971. What happened in 1971? We got off the gold standard, guys. We got off the gold standard. The US dollar became pure fiat fugazi money backed by absolutely nothing. Up until 1971, dollars were backed by gold reserves. That is no longer the case after 1971. So that being the case, We've lost the majority of our purchasing power already. So the dollar collapsing isn't a reality. And here's why. Because it is a propped up system by printing money. You print money forever and ever, and you can mathematically approach zero forever without ever actually hitting zero. So the dollar can continue to get closer and closer to zero, 99.9999999999999% forever, and it'll never hit that 100% zero, right? That 100% collapse. So that is exactly what's going to be happening. The can will always get kicked down the line. The Fed will always print more money. Interest rate cuts will happen, and it will continue to prop its system up because it's a fake system made up of Fugazi money out of thin air. They can print forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, right? So the dollar will never truly collapse. Can it lose the reserves asset, the world asset reserve status? Yeah, that could be a possible scenario, right? Something else can come and take over, hopefully Bitcoin, but we don't know, and we can't assume that that's going to happen anytime soon because it will take a lot longer than you expect. Now, there are some scenarios, right? The 100-year depression, Great Depression anniversary is coming up in 2028, right? 2028, 2029 will be the 100-year anniversary of the Great Depression from back in 1928, 1929 when the Great Depression happened. Are we going to get a repeat? Nobody knows, but it's definitely possible. Definitely possible, right? So the reason why institutions have shifted into Bitcoin is because they understand that mathematically Bitcoin is a hard money. It is a hard asset. Gold has been this for a very long time. Now Bitcoin transcends gold and is better. It's faster. It's cheaper. It's more decentralized. It is easier transferable, easier to verify, right? There is no replication. There is no fake Bitcoin out there. There is fake gold, and people get caught buying fake gold all the time. But nonetheless, Bitcoin transcends gold, and I believe institutions are shifting over. If you've ever read the book called the Bitcoin Standard, you would understand this concept that I'm talking about. Early adopters of a harder money will be able to generate massive amounts of wealth because the late adopters, their currency goes to zero. Their currency drops. So back to the question of what happens if the dollar goes to zero, you can't buy it. Well, you're going to be broke. In the new system, right, whatever the new financial system is, whether it's crypto, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's XRP, whatever it is, right, at that point in time, if the dollar actually hits zero, if you're just holding dollars or everything that your assets can be sold for can only be sold for dollars, you're stuck. You're in trouble. Everyone else that adopted the new currency, that adopted the new financial system, that they're solid. They're creating generational wealth for their families, right? And that's how the great transfers of wealth have happened over history. So yeah, that was a long rant, but it was a good one. I appreciate it. Dude, you're getting right now just banned because you have been spamming like there's no tomorrow. Let me get back here. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Which coin should I buy so I can leave the trenches? None. You know, if you want to leave the trenches, guys, if you want to leave the trenches, what you need to do is you need to come and learn technical analysis. Come learn technical analysis. Read charts. Read data. I'm not telling you to become a day trader, but a swing trader. Just even spot buying, right? Spot buying is swing trading. If you can read data on the charts and know where support is and where potential targets to the upside are or potential targets to the downside are, you can long and short, and even in spot, you can make more strategic plays to make you money versus if you're just blindly reacting to the market, have zero knowledge of technical analysis, 100% dependent on live streams from content creators. A lot of content creators out there are not 100% transparent, guys. They are full of fugazi. They will just tell you whatever you want to hear so that they get more clicks, so that they get more views, so that they get more likes. That's all they're here for, right? They're just here for your attention. They don't care if you make money or not. They will do all kinds of things in the space just to get your attention. When it comes to technical analysis, I'm just telling you what I see on the chart, not telling you my bias, right? My bias, I want Bitcoin at 200K by the end of the year. Are we going to see that? Most likely not at this point in time. Most likely not. But if it happens, I'm here for it, and I will continue to analyze the data as we approach those areas. So if you want to get out of the trenches, invest in yourself, invest in your education, learn technical analysis, join these communities like the Crypto Citadel. You don't have to join mine, but join communities like the Crypto Citadel that teach you how to trade, are looking for daily trade sessions, that are looking for trades every day, that are looking for swing trades, that are looking at charts and analyzing data so you can have a better idea of where the market is going. Matt, what's going on? Someone says, you sounded German. 9999. Yeah. Can you look at render? Yeah, we'll take a look at render here, guys, and then I'm going to have to jump off. I do have a date with my good friend TradeFly. Let's go take a look at render here. Render is finally having a little bit of a move here, still creating lower highs from the July high of $4.70. We have another lower high here in August of $4.25. And currently, yesterday, we made a lower high of $4.04. Render needs to break above, right? Needs to break above this. What range is this? This is the first 6 months of the year, right? The first 6 months of the year range. Value area high is $4.78. We need to break above that range. Once we can break above $4.78, we do have targets up at $5.57 to as high as $6 before we hit the 382 fib. Above $6, we do have targets between $6.73 to as high as $8.61. Are we going to fulfill all these targets? I don't know, man. Render has been sleeping. Render has been asleep at the wheel for a long time, creating lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and lower highs since the high back in December 7th of around $11, which is also a lower high from its all-time high of $13 back on March. So we have been making significant lower highs. Hopefully we can make another lower high around $6 to potentially $8. That would be fantastic. I'm selling all my render. I'm jumping out and I'm done with it. But that is what I'm looking for render here in the short to midterm overall. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Make sure you are joining the Crypto Citadel if you haven't already, because you only have 16 spots left, guys. 16 spots left, and the $3.30 a day is over. So please make sure you guys are securing your spot. If you like the content you're watching, if you want to be getting access to these trades, to these setups, to all this data every single day, the Crypto Citadel is where it's to be at. Not the live stream. The live stream doesn't happen every day. The live stream is a recap of what already happened in the trading day, right? It's a recap of what happens. I jump into the Crypto Citadel every morning, 9 a.m., and between 9 a.m. to 11, we're trading. We're trading. We're looking for trades. We're game planning. We're doing stuff. After that is when I go live. I create content. So you guys are catching the recaps. You guys are catching the highlights, right? You guys are catching the replays of what happened. The data is already too late. By the time you watch content on it, it is too late. So make sure you guys are joining the Crypto Citadel and stop missing out, guys. This is your last chance to get in. Only 16 spots left, and then it's over. And there's only 8 spots left for lifetime access. So make sure you guys are smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe, and joining the Crypto Citadel. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day, and I'll see you in the Crypto Citadel. See ya.